everybody, welcome back to another super exciting video about my Hot Wheels collection. I'm gonna continue the American box of my cars, just like I mentioned in the last video. I think I said something along the lines of that I'm gonna continue like each box, because then I'm basically gonna lose track of all the cars that I talked about, although I do have a list of all the cars that I talk about, but I'm starting to realize that I just have so many of them and so little storage that it's a bit of a chaos every time I open a box and try to look for cars. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and just continue with the random picks. I remember picking this one up a couple of years ago. I'm honestly not sure why I did so, because I'm not a huge fan of the Shelby Cobra in particular, like too much. I know it's a really nice, cool, exciting car and all that, and I'm sure it's special to a lot of people, especially the people in my country for some reason go crazy for the Cobra. I'm not entirely sure why. I know it sounds amazing. I've driven it in a couple of games, and it's always cool, fast, very light, very I mean, it's a small car, it's really light, and it makes a lot of power. And I personally know it best from the movie Rivals. I think it's Rivals, Ford versus Ferrari. Was it Ford versus Ferrari or was it Rivals? I'm not sure. I think it was Ford versus Ferrari. I know this car from there the most. It does look cool, admittedly. Of course, I'm not gonna go against everybody and say that I hate the car or something like that, because I really don't, but it just doesn't seem to speak to me on a whole lot of levels. And also, for some reason, the car looks slightly different from its from the graphics on the car, basically, because it doesn't seem to have the windows on the side over here, although it is cool that they gave it a nice little transparent front windshield like that. But the windows on the side are missing, and also the splitter on the front of the car is just not there at all. But I assume that that's to save cost or something, but then it just doesn't look like itself very much. And also the wing mirror is not there, and probably a couple of other things that I didn't notice. But yeah, I guess I definitely respect it when people like this car. I understand it, but it just doesn't speak to me too much. And I think there's a 2025 version of this car, like a Hot Wheels model for this year, 2025, that I decided not to pick up because, you know, same reason, just not my kind of thing. But I understand why people like it, of course. And it's got those cool red lines on the wheels, which a lot of people like also for some reason. So continuing with my silly little American cars, I do like this one a lot. It's a wagon. It's a 1970 Chevelle SS wagon, and I am a big fan of station wagons because they are ridiculously useful. You can fit so much stuff in a wagon as opposed to like a large car like an SUV or something like that. And I've never seen an old school American station wagon in my life on my with my real eyes. You know what I'm trying to say here. And I do like this particular Hot Wheels model a lot. I think the back wheels are like slightly larger than the front wheels, and it's got a lot of details going on this chrome underside over here. That's really nice to see always. And yeah, I would even say that it has more details than the Shelby Cobra that I showed you previously. It's got those hood pins, even just like it has those on the graphic itself. It's got the little S. Well, it doesn't have the little SS logo on the front, but I guess that's way too tiny to put in. And yeah, I do wonder if they came out like this from the factory, because I understand that this is the SS version. I forgot what that stands for in Chevrolet terms, but yeah, I do wonder if they came like with the hood pins and all that, or if this is some kind of modified version. And I do like the dangerously looking black and the red color combination. I do like the red wheels. And yeah, I did pick it up because it's a cool station wagon, and you don't get to see a whole lot of station wagons made by Hot Wheels for some reason. I just now am noticing, honestly, I didn't even notice this before. It's from a series called Hot Wheels Wagons. So if wagons need their whole series of only 5 cars that I don't imagine that there's a whole lot of wagons made by Hot Wheels. Yeah, I guess they're just not too exciting for the kids or something. Although recently I've been hearing that it's actually mostly adults collecting Hot Wheels cars, which I am one of those. So that does make me feel a little weird, to be quite honest. And the next one that I'd like to show you is actually a treasure hunt down here. Now, I'm honestly not sure if I noticed that when I picked it up. I mainly picked it up because it's from the Hot Wheels Art Car series, which is one of my favorite series, honestly speaking. And this one just looks super cool. I love the the painkiller looking wheels that they put on this thing, and the beautiful black and white color combination with those pinstripes. And I still didn't look up what where the A goes, like what kind of word the series of Hot Wheels Art Cars is supposed to spell. So I need to look that up as soon as I'm done with this video, because I am curious. So yeah, I think I did look this one up on the internet, and apparently they are very much sought after, unless I'm mistaken. So it's really nice that I have one of them in my collection. This is a 58 Impala. It just makes me think how old this car actually is. But it's honestly not as old as this one, which is a 1932 Ford. I assume it's called a coupe, or I think they used to call these coupes. I'm honestly not sure. And it makes me wonder if this is actually the oldest vehicle that Hot Wheels has like a license for, or you know what I mean. Like, I wonder if it goes even further back in history, because this is at this point almost 100 years old. And I can hardly imagine that a lot of people own these cars anymore, because it has to be insanely difficult to keep something like this running. Or maybe not, because I'm not a car expert or anything like that. The people who restore cars on the internet always make it look easy. I've definitely never seen a 1932 Ford in real life around here at all. I did see a Ford Model A. I know there are a couple of people in my town actually have those. I think there's 2 of them in my town actually. But that is actually 100 years old, actually 110, I think. So this one's a 1932, and it is in one of my favorite liveries, which is the Golf livery in the beautiful sky blue and orange color combination. I love how the engine is sticking out with that cooler up in the front, the open wheels in the front, chopped top on the car itself, and it's just really cool. I would love to hear how this actually sounds in real life. And I do love the Golf colors, but I'm not sure why. I'm not entirely sure why the bottom of the car also needs to be orange, but personally I don't mind. There was a time when I only had a couple of Hot Wheels cars in my collection, and I used to always separate all of the Golf liveries. Like, I always put them on my shelf, but they ended up basically just catching a lot of dust in that process. So shortly after that, I think I decided to just start putting them in boxes. And yeah, this is one of my favorite liveries out here, the Golf livery. I got a bunch more of these cars, and that's about it. That's all the 4 cars that I wanted to show you today. Random picks as always. So thank you to anybody who's been watching, and I'll talk to you next time.